Welcome to the June 6th Eclipse OpenJ9 community call. As always, you can add your name and affiliation to the list of attendees so we know who's been joining. If there's something you'd like to add to the agenda, feel free to chime in now. We'll put it into the appropriate spot or tackle it off the top. Otherwise, jump in at any appropriate time. We don't have a lightning talk scheduled. If there's one you want to give, reach out to me. We'll get it set up. And let's take a look at the recent end user issues. Looks like one's come in the last hour related to a floating point. And the others are older, or at least would have been here during the last call. Is there anything on this list that people want to discuss further? All right, then we'll jump back to the agenda. The 038 release is complete at this point, is that correct? Builds are posted and everything needing to be updated has been updated?
I think in terms of OpenJ9, yes. There may still be some things to do for IBM.
All right. In that case, we can remove it from the agenda, which brings us to the Java 20 release. So just pull up the release plan at this point. We've got 3 actual items in here. Do we have a fix for the ping pong timeout?
Yes. So there's fixes for all of these actually. So I can double deliver the ping pong one. There's already a PR for it. And same for the foreign library lookup test.
Okay.
So they're already delivered in Headstream. I just wanted to check the nightly bills last night because something went wrong, but I think that has nothing to do with Java 20 fixes. And then the last one, there is a change that fixes it at OpenJDK, and it's under review. So maybe we'll just wait at least today and see if it's going to get any review comments. Otherwise, we could decide if we want to wait longer or just take it as is. So it's a back part of the change that went into the headstream that's being backported for 2002. So since it's a backport, probably it's not going to change.
Yeah, do we have an idea of when they complete their review?
So there was 2 parts to it, and the first part had to go first, and it got reviewed and merged. Hopefully this one somebody will look at it today. I don't know for sure, but it seems like rather than rushing, we could at least wait one more day.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, if we've got the other ones ready, and we've had a chance to test them and we're comfortable with that, then I would be okay with pulling back the change, even if, give it a day or so to get that review in. But even if that review doesn't complete, if it's already in the headstream, then the backport should be fairly safe for us to take.
Yeah, but it was waiting on the first issue, which only got merged yesterday. So hopefully the second issue will get some look at it today.
All right. So it sounds like we're in a reasonable state for this.
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing RC1 this week.
Okay, that's great news. Anything else we want to touch on for the Java 20 release? Okay. Then I guess that brings us to the 040 release, which goes out in July. We're 48 issues in the release plan.
Yeah, so more of those have to move out. I know some of the JIT ones have moved out already. I'm not sure that the VM ones have had if anybody's taken a look at the VM ones to move some of those out. I will take a look at some of them soon.
Okay. Thanks, Pete. And then there's what, 18 issues in here.
Yeah, so we have to decide which ones can get resolved for this release, and if they don't get resolved for this release, if they need to be moved forward to Java 21, or they're just done because they're Java 20 specific.
Yeah, some of these look like they're design issues and support issues. You know, scope values probably ends. The incubator ends here because there's a new preview feature, and probably similar for structure concurrency. But doesn't really change the amount of work needing to be done, just which issues tracking up.
So I'll go through this. We did the code split on the weekend. I think we can start JDK 17 today. I just need to update the extensions branch for 17. JDK 20 will need 2 of the 3 fixes that are going into 20.01, also double delivered for 040. So that should happen over the next couple of days. And then we can start M1 for Java 20. And then JDK 11, there's a couple of extensions, backports related to security. So those backports have already gone into 17 and 20, but they haven't gone in for 11 yet. So I'm thinking they're going to go in soon, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. And then we can do RC1 for JDK 11. Oh, and I guess I'm not sure about 8. I'm not sure there's anything blocking 8. So maybe we can start that one today as well, or tomorrow, if we want to do one per day.
There's 671 that I'm reviewing for 8. ECDH key agreement.
Okay,
I don't
so
expect too much turn there, so
we'll wait on that one too. Hopefully by the time we do 17 and 20, 11 and 8, we'll be ready to go.
At this point, I assume for 040, everything's going to have to be double delivered.
Yes.
And we've mentioned that CRIU efforts are the long pole. I don't know that we have Kobe today. Is there anything on the state of that we need to be looking at or concerned about for the 040 release?
Not sure if anyone else has status on that. Is Jason on the call?
Yeah, and there's something just planned for the coming 40 release, and the couple of things I was working on is like for the Java UT concurrent lock. We need to make sure those lock won't affect single thread mode. Basically, we already have something in place for the monitor access, prevented single thread mode hand, but this will need to expand it to the lock level access. Other than that, we also need to deal with the when we switch around the checkpoint image between different environments, and we might need to deal with different machine resource available, such as CPU numbers and the memory available and some other environment. But currently, more like we need to just focus on CPU number first, and depends how much time we have, then move on other machine resources. I know there are some other like serviceability issues still going on, like since last X-Trace we added for the restore. Some of them, they are like such as multiple X-Trace output file could be presented, but again, that will be depends on the resource available. And I know there are some serviceability like GTWP. We want to enable debugging functionality around the checkpoint restore hooks, particularly during that stage, help in debugging the problem. And I know Jet have something related to the trace as well. That's more from JVM side.
Okay. And Jason, the expectation is that that will be complete by the M2 date of June 26th.
That's what at least for my part, that's aim for, like enable deal with the lock support and maybe CPU handling, and yeah, that's there are some other single thread model refactoring, but that one I'm not counting on 26 year. For others, I'm honestly, I'm not sure exactly the schedule, but everybody knows. I think the CRU group knows the schedule. We are aiming for the 0.40 release, and that's the targeting release, and then the feature release date is in June 26th.
Anything else people want to touch on for the 040 release? Okay. Then that brings us to JDK 21. The code split there is June 8th. So that should be stabilizing upstream in the next couple of days. There's a lot of stuff going into this that may or may not have implications for OpenJ9. So we should be trying to get onto this as quickly as we can.
Well, we are trying to keep up. So we're at level 20. The latest level is 25. I know there's some PRs in progress to try and move us up to a newer level. So it is getting some attention.
Yeah, hopefully a lot of these things are work we've already been doing or don't particularly affect the VM.
So the churn of late, from my perspective, seems to be the FFI work, and I think that's stabilizing and will more so once it is targeted to the release.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's supposed to be in at OpenJDK by the 8th, so hopefully there won't be much more breakage.
Okay. Pattern matching for switch, I believe, makes use of invoke dynamic. So it would probably be worthwhile to run those tests early to make sure that we have the right behavior, particularly for these switch cases. Hopefully there's no new method handle work needed there, but just to make sure that any edge cases that pop up out of that are correct. Anything else we want to touch on for JDK 21? All right. Then I guess that brings us to our general business. Adam, are you on the call?
Yep. Not much to say for infrastructure stuff. It's all business as usual. There's no.
Okay. It's always a good place to be with infrastructure.
Yep.
All right. I don't see Marius on the call, so I assume there's no update on JIT server. Similar for the microJIT.
Dan, do we need to be tracking microJIT every week?
I'm happy to drop that. We had been, my understanding at the time we started tracking it was they were working towards a merge, and there was some discussion about how to merge that into the main line. But
yeah, I think it's still in the same state. It's there's been some offline discussions happening on that front, but I don't know. probably treat it like any other issue or any other PR. I don't know if it needs to be tracked weekly here.
Okay, happy to remove it. All right. For CRIU, we got a bit of an update from Jason earlier. Is there anything else that needs to be added to this?
The only thing I'll mention here, if it's not here, is for the 40 release, we are trying to get ARch64 Linux support in for instant on. Initial testing looks okay. No major issues were found, so this might just be a testing and packaging exercise. And then we're going to work with a downstream stakeholder, Open Liberty, for more testing and that. So
Good to see that that support brought more widely. Hung, is there anything you want to call out for Valhalla?
No, nothing.
Okay. Any other business that we want to tackle this week? All right, then thank you, everybody. We'll end the call here and we'll pick this up again next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks.